Boom, shaka, laka, boom. You've tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm, of course, Clay Edwards, and we are live on 103.9 FM WYAB, streaming worldwide at WYAB.com, and as well as the TuneIn app and Alexa. Just search WYAB. And for all my folks on social media, we're a good month into this now. We're streaming in 4K all day, Clay 4K, on Facebook, Clay on 4K. YouTube. You like that?
I like Clay 4K. I like Clay 4K, yeah.
I think about getting a medallion done, like a No Limit or Death Row Records
medallion. Yeah, definitely. You got to have
Clay 4K.
Like a good 8-inch diameter.
Absolutely. It'll be cubic zirconia. I'm not going to go for like real diamonds. But Clay 4K, we are on the Save JXN, Facebook, YouTube, X, the free speech platform. And, of course, Rumble, the other free speech platform.
Yes.
But over there at Rumble, just search Clay Edwards Show. I actually do have a Save JXN channel, but when I set it up, I don't know. I decided I've been trying to shift everything over to my name.
Yeah.
From Save Jackson, but I don't want to relinquish the handles.
Right. So you're going to own those, yeah.
Yeah, I own those.
Mm-hmm.
But nowhere does it say Save Jackson. It says Clay Edwards as the name, but the handle on everything is Save JXN.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just don't want to. I put a lot of. I got lucky and was able to get all my IPs.
Yeah.
My .com, my everything with that.
Oh, that's
I
pretty
couldn't
good.
believe it was lingering out there.
I know. It's sometimes surprising what you can get. What's out there for the .coms.
Well, because I'm starting a second ordeal called FAFO Sports. Mm-hmm. It has not been as easy.
Yeah.
It has not been as easy.
It's only 4 letters. It's much harder when you only got 4 letters.
It is. I wanted FAFO Radio. I've been trying to gobble up the FAFOs and all the IPs because I just want everything to match.
Right.
And it has not been as easy. So, I don't know. That's why we just kind of have a floating name for the sports show.
Yeah.
So, FAFO Sports presents the Worst Damn Sports Show, period.
Mm-hmm.
Will that stay the name? Who knows?
Yeah.
But until we can come up with something where we can get all the IPs and it all makes sense.
Yeah.
And when I talk about IPs, I mean the .coms, the Instagrams, the YouTube channels, everything. And it all is one simple, streamlined ordeal.
Yeah. Well, that's why with like my platform, I do Regulators Productions. So you go to the regulatorproductions.com. That way I can have the full story. We got the full story, like the full story FM and stuff like that. But I had I'm just going to create a production company. That way you can get all of my stuff under there. I can own that one IP with Regulators Productions. That can all fall under there for that reason.
Yeah, and it's fun, but I definitely want to grow, and I want to be more than just the morning radio stuff.
Absolutely.
I want to have the different categories of stuff because I have different interests. And I've got Matt Bishop in the studio with me this morning, and Matt was all over the Trump MSG rally, and I'm all over the Trump Rogan stuff. I didn't get to watch any of the MSG stuff. However, I do have some clips from it. But while we're on this topic, this is Matt Bishop. He's host of The Full Story here 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Monday through Friday right here at 103.9 FM WYAB. Tell them your website.
Website's regulatorsproductions.com, like we said. You can see it. You can see our full story there. We have some of our other stuff. Just like you, Clay, we do a couple other things. We have the full story. We also do audio dramas. So that's our other thing. We don't do sports. We do audio dramas. So you got both those things you can see under there as well. So.
Do you think this is a conversation Sean and I have been having a little bit here lately? And it's why I'm kind of setting up the sports stuff. And it's why Sean and I talk about so many other different topics. Mm-hmm. I don't expect it to happen in the immediate week after aftermath.
Right.
But do you think by the spring, regardless of who wins the election, that America is just kind of want to detox a little bit from all-day politics?
Yeah, there's definitely always going to be that one, have that detox, that kind of idea. That's why sports are so important, right? And that's was a little disappointing when sports started getting into politics. Sports was the political detox, I think, or just life detox for a lot of people.
And sports have a season.
Exactly.
Well.
Mm-hmm. And, that was kind of the whole point. So it's kind of disappointing that some of them have gone political. However, if Kamala Harris gets elected, God help us, people can be worried about their own livelihoods again.
If Kamala gets elected, there's going to be no days off.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's going to be the separate. I think if Trump gets elected, people are going to have that breather. It's like, all right, maybe we can get back to some sanity. And I think you are going to see things start fixing themselves once he's in there. Now the liberal media is going to be all on it, but I think everybody needs a little bit of a break. But the problem is you can't take too much of a break, no matter who's in there. You got to stay on top of your politicians. You got to stay on top of them as much as it pains you to do it, because they'll pass stuff underneath, not just the national stuff, but it's even more so the local stuff, your school boards, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, you got to stay involved with them.
Agreed. I'm sorry, I'm just making sure we're live. Yep. Live everywhere.
Okay.
So I agree. But it is why I do want to I want to diversify a bit.
Yeah.
And sports, I say, is my second passion, and I do like the long form conversations. I love the talk radio. I love live.
Right.
Live without a net, it forces you to get better at everything.
It does.
Coming and doing this live every morning makes me so much better at the recorded videos I do, at the sit down long form videos I do.
Right.
Because you've got to be ready. You
got to be on top of your game.
You got to be sharp. And look, there's days I have bad days in here. There's no
Right,
doubt about
of course.
it. And I'll be the first person to get online and be like, that was a bad show today. I apologize.
Yeah.
You know, and you got those great supporters who would be like, no, Clay, you're being hard on yourself. Well,
Yeah.
no, I appreciate y'all being nice, but
No, like afterwards, like, man, that was not a great show.
I'm also my biggest fan.
Right.
I'll tell you I'll tell you when it was a great
You got to
show.
be, right? You're a radio host. You got to.
Yeah. I'll tell you when it was a great host. All right, so look, why I asked you to sit over a segment with me? Look, we ought to start just doing this every Monday.
Yeah.
When you have time, because I just love to kind of catch up with you and get into your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially the day before the election next week. I heard Hugh Hewitt this morning. I actually cut that on for a second. I'm not a Hugh Hewitt fan.
Yeah.
But I try to listen to things that I disagree with.
Right.
And he said that he's got this feeling right now that reminds him a lot of 2016. I was like, that we're going to win. But he has MAGA in the Hillary Clinton position. They just feel like they're too big to lose. They got it. It's in the bag. They're going to win.
Right.
And he thinks that Kamala is the underdog, kind of going to come out of nowhere and win when we don't see it. So it got me to thinking this: could Trump? Is there? And look, I'm not a polling guy,
Right.
Or none of that stuff. I don't pay a whole lot of attention outside of little swing state stuff here and there. Could Trump possibly win the popular vote but lose the electoral college?
So let's to answer that first question, I don't think that's possible for Republicans, just how the numbers work with the states.
Me either. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, like I said,
because there's been a big thing about him winning the popular vote potentially. And I'm like, well, could he win the popular and lose the electoral?
That's just not how the electoral votes work. And the Republicans, technically, the electoral vote does favor Republicans more than it does Democrats.
Sure.
And a lot of that's because of illegal votes coming from California, where you have millions of people who are voting who shouldn't vote, right? But I think to go to this, if we go back to what Hugh Hewitt's talking about, we got to look at what 2016 was like. In 2016, Hillary Clinton was ahead a lot of times 8-9 points in a lot of these, Pennsylvania, Michigan, all these states that Trump eventually won. And they literally took a vacation the last 2 weeks. They didn't hardly do anything. They just kind of were on coast mode because they're like, hey, why put good money after bad at that point? And
is that when she ended up getting thrown in the back of that van like she was a dead carcass?
Yeah, exactly. It was like just hide away. Like, what are we going to do? And part of that, their strategy was, hey, let's not screw it up right while we're ahead. I could see them thinking that. But you can compare that to right now what Trump's doing, right? Let's think about that Madison Square Garden rally. 20,000 people packed in it, 200,000 people sitting outside of it. Trump is not slowing down. And the polls here, again, the polls have been in Kamala's favor until about 2 weeks ago when Trump started making it about even, which is where it's now. And again, Trump has always done better than what the polls have shown. And so I think what Hugh Hewitt is trying to talk about is maybe warning Trump not to do that, because as I talked about, there's a lot of momentum right now with Donald Trump. We see that in the polls. We see it obviously in reality with these things like what's going on in Madison Square Gardens. There's a lot of momentum behind him right now. Thing is, I think it's more of a warning not to give up just because you see that. And I don't think Trump's going to do that. He's got I don't know what his plan is this week, but it's just not in his nature just to give up. If nothing else, just because he likes getting out there, unlike Hillary Clinton. So I don't think it's going to. I don't think they're going to create that same issue. I think that's a little bit of Hugh Hewitt thinking that Donald Trump is maybe doing better than he thinks. Donald Trump's doing better than in reality. I think is maybe that's Hugh Hewitt thinking that, because they're still working hard at it. I said, selling out Madison Square Garden is one of them, and they're going to be hitting the battleground stage. So I think Kamala Harris, they're trying to avoid that. Kamala Harris is trying to avoid the mistake of doing that, which is why she's been out there to her detriment. If they could hide her, they would, but they're having to put her out there as well.
Did you hear her most recent accent?
Yes,
at the church Sunday.
I played the clip. I played the clip on my show.
That's right. You did. I heard it on your show.
Yeah,
coming in.
Yeah,
coming in. Very interesting. Did you get to listen to let me start over.
Yeah.
Did you get to listen to any of the Trump Rogan interview?
I listened to tidbits. I didn't listen to the full thing. But
I listened to the whole
tidbits.
thing twice now.
Yeah.
And in bits and pieces as I listen to other people analyze it. Did you hear Trump? And I've got it queued up here for the audience. Scott,
Yeah.
I want to play it. Trump. I'm going to play this, and I want your take on it. It's
Okay.
Trump basically talking about all the polls are rigged.
Yeah.
And I tend to agree. I tend to agree. This is Trump on Rogan, guys. I'm going to have to put my finger on the dump button. So if you hear any silence, because there may or may not be a cuss word in this, we can't let on radio.
I was never called by a poll system.
If I did, I wouldn't answer. I'm busy.
You know how polls are done? I'm going to get myself in trouble. But so I really don't believe too much in them. So,
well, 2016 taught a lot of people about the ineffective.
Well, they were very
use of
ineffective
polls.
because I thought I was doing well. I'd go to a place and I'd have 30, 40,000 people. Hillary would go, they have 500 people, and they tell me I'm going to lose. I said, why am I going to lose? I had 40,000 people. She had 200 people. But, you know, I have a theory. These pollsters, they charge you a lot of money, too. You know, they charge you $500,000 to do some stupid poll, and they interview like 251 people. I don't think they interview them in many cases. I don't want to get myself in too much trouble.
You think it's bullshit?
No, I think they sit there, they make a deal, they get $500,000, and they say, Trump's leading 51-49. They announce it, and everybody says, oh. Do you understand? I think in a lot. Look, I'm a very common sense person.
Here's my question.
But I shouldn't say that because I'm doing really well in the polls.
But I think that's
so. This week I happen to believe in a verse. I only believe them if they're good. No, I like them this month. But no, I honestly believe that there's probably a lot of fraud. I had a poll, Washington Post, ABC, in the Hillary thing on Wisconsin. They had me down 17 points the day before the election. I knew it was wrong because I had a rally. I had 29,000 people at a racetrack, and it was like 0 degrees, Wisconsin. And they had me down 17 points. In other words, you had no chance.
All right. What do you think?
So I think I don't think polls by themselves are BS. There's always going to be problems with polls, right? I mean, we try to get polls to a scientific point. He said people do pay a lot for these polls. I think not the problem.
So the
with the
campaigns will actually pay for these polls.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there's a lot of people out there who don't really understand how this works.
Yeah, so I mean, you have your big polls that do it for their audience, right? Like Rasmussen, like New York Times, Siena, right? So you have those big polls that pretty much what we talk about in the media. But campaigns themselves will also pay for more specific polling, so they know, hey, what are we doing with a certain demographic, right? They'll try to do that in order, what kind of ad are we going to put in this place? But I think, the problem with polls is with Donald Trump, and why Trump, like I said, Trump always does better than what he's polling. I do think people are still afraid to say that they support Trump even over the phone. I think that's the inherent error in them, not necessarily the polling method. It's more of just Donald Trump himself.
You feel like it even over the phone, huh?
Yeah, I think people are afraid to say that. I mean, obviously, people like us, we're gonna fly the Trump flags and we're gonna put them on our cars. And you go to a rally. That's why I think people love going to his rallies, so they can be around other people like them. And they can.
That's why I like going to wrestling.
Exactly, right?
I'm being serious.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because how often do you meet random wrestling fans out in the world where you can actually talk about wrestling?
Yeah.
But you go to a wrestling thing, especially like a big one, a wrestling convention or something like that.
Right.
You're like, you can let your guard down.
Yeah, you can fly your flag, you can paint your face. Yeah. You put your Hulk Hogan shirt on. I played Hulk Hogan in my show this morning, too.
A terrible I'm going to play it here later.
Yeah.
A terrible analogy is, it's kind of like I think when the LGBTQ people go to their pride parades, and it's kind of let the freak flag fly.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that. Just leave the kids alone.
Right.
All that. But I get it. So I guess to your point,
yeah.
It's almost like being a Trump fan. In some places, is like being in the closet LGBTQ.
It is. It's very much so. I mean, I lived in Alexandria, Virginia, which is one of the most liberal places in the country. If you wore your MAGA hat through Old Town Alexandria, you'd be getting all kind of looks, and people wouldn't want you in their businesses, right? That makes life hard to live. But I think, again, I talk about, Nixon's comment of the silent majority. That's what we saw in 2016, is that people know what's actually going on. They're afraid to say it out in public, but no one's watching you in that voting booth, which is why he always does better than what the polls show. And so, like I said, even the fact that here, that's why I look at swings in polls. Not necessarily the numbers, but I look at swings, which to me is more important, is how much what kind of movement has happened in the last few weeks. So like I said, that's why you see Trump going up 4 points in a lot of polls in these battleground states to where it's dead even. To me, that shows momentum. That's how I look at it. Not necessarily the numbers themselves, but how the polls are moving to see that momentum, I think is even more important than what the actual numbers themselves say.
I like it. Can you do another segment?
Yeah, I can do another segment.
We're going to do one more segment with Matt Bishop here on the Clay Edwards Show this morning. Y'all be sure to check out Matt's show. It's 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., Monday through Friday, right here on WYAB. It is also available on traditional podcasting platforms such as Apple, Spotify.
All of them.
And all of those by searching The Full Story with Matt Bishop.
Just the full story. Yep.
Just the full story.
Yep.
All right, we'll be right back with Mr. Full Story himself, Matt Bishop. Phone lines are open, guys. You got any questions for Matt that maybe you wish I would ask and I'm not thinking of this morning? The Mazda of Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. We'll be right back with more.
So,
Mics are hot.
but speaking on those pollings, there was this movie. I can't. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was done by one of the Jon Stewart. And it was a movie that had Steve Carell in it. And I'm trying to. And then the name is going escape me. But it's about essentially this little town that wants to. The Democrats are trying to move in to get a Democrat mayor. And it's like a huge red state, and they're trying to get this Democrat mayor in there. So they all kind of go upon this little town and try to spend millions of dollars. And part of that is they talk about the polling, and how they're spending $1 million to do a poll of this little town to see, hey, where are the single women at? Where is this? So they can really nail down what kind of advertisement they're doing. So I think, when we talk about the private polls, I thought that was a great example of how campaigns use the polls, and all campaigns use it. You pretty much have to use it, again, to try to understand what kind of money we're going to spend, where are we going to spend that money. It is an important thing for them.
Because I just feel like, if I wanted to get a blue, if I'd want to get a left-leaning poll out of a red state, like say, for example, in Mississippi, if I wanted to try to show that Mississippians are for abortion, I would go to Fondren and do my polling in that area,
right,
where it's a lot of white liberals, but the outside world may not know there's a lot of white liberals in Fondren. These are white people in central Mississippi, blah,
right,
blah, blah. And to the outside world, you would see that, say, look, even those rednecks in Mississippi are pro-abortion now. I just think there's definitely ways to skew that. Yeah,
and that's why too. For the bigger polls, we don't have access to private polls, but for the bigger polls, that's why it's also important to look at things like Real Clear Politics average of polls, and you can see, like when I look at them, when I try to report polls on my show, I'll look at the 15 different polls, and try to see trends. Right, that's what it's all about. It's all about trends, to see how, where each of the polls having them, whether it's, +1, +2, whatever, to try to get that rolling average. And again, it just gives you, like I said, the number itself doesn't really matter to me as much as where are the swings. Like on the same poll, if Trump was -8 and now he's -4, that tells me more than the fact that he's -4. At least that's what I look at.
Gotcha. Yeah. That makes sense. Get my ad read ready. Yeah. So when we come back, I want to kind of break this down just a little bit more.
Okay.
And just kind of start doing some predictions.
Yeah.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
Did I? You're doing your radio drama on the 5th. What were you doing on the 5th? Didn't you have some kind of plans
on the 5th? On
election night?
I'm doing on election night. I'm on call for Newsmax to provide commentary.
Well, we'd like to have you on the show too.
Yeah.
You're
absolutely
welcome to come in the studio, do it by phone if you want to Zoom in.
Yeah.
Video in, I can video chat you in.
Yeah, problem.
Whatever works best for you.
Yeah.
I guess if you're going to do it for Newsmax, you would be doing video at home.
Yeah. So we'll have this set up.
So you could flip over into us.
Yeah.
If I sent you a link.
Yeah. You guys come in.
On.
Yeah, I'll have my thing set up anyway at my office. So.
All right. So with that said, guys, don't forget next Tuesday, the 5th, starting at 6 p.m., the official election night 2024 coverage is going to be live on WYAB, as well as all of my social media platforms. It'll be on Sean Yurkaron's Facebook page, but everywhere you're watching this video now, we will be going wall to wall until they either unplug it for the night or they name a winner. If it's midnight, 2 in the morning, we will be here covering it. Give us a moment of silence as we come back here from the break. Breaking rules when necessary. Guys, get out to Men's Health of Mississippi this week and talk to them about compounded Ozempic. Ladies, you as well, you're going to appreciate what I have discovered. What I have discovered that compounded Ozempic has a unintended side effect. Now, look, I am not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice here. I'm just speaking through personal experience, and I have also asked a couple other of my friends who are taking the same thing if they have found this interesting little side effect. And that little side effect is, drum roll please, ridiculously long sexual stamina. That's right, and I feel like that's the best way I can put that. If that is an issue in your life, the compounded Ozempic, at least for me and the other two friends of mine that I spoke with, this is a cure. It was not exactly something I thought was an issue necessarily.
Who could not use more of that, right?
Yeah, who could not? If you have a satisfied wife, you have a happy life,
right.
or girlfriend, or whatever the case may be, and you're also trimming up a little bit, getting a little more cut up. Man, you mixing the compounded Ozempic and the testosterone together, and you're a sexual time machine here
right.
from the past to save the earth. I mean, all joking aside, I mean, I know there could possibly be kids in the car this morning, but just think to yourself, women, if you're satisfied or not with your husband. Maybe have that conversation with him. Guys, we all know our count, our number. Let's extend that number. Text weight loss today.
Like I said, and the weight loss going with it. You get more attractive and and last longer. I mean, it's like a twofer.
It truly is. And look, I try to tell these things. I like people to have fun and to be able to enjoy stuff. But I don't mind kind of being the crash test dummy here a little bit, and letting y'all know truly what works for me. So this is something that's truly working for me, and these are the side effects that I see from it. And I am more than happy to share those side effects. I should have the number memorized by this point to tell y'all. I thought I did, and then boom, I didn't. Here it is. Text weight loss to 601-327-8550. 601-327-8550. That's weight loss. That's for the compounded semaglutide. Long story short, generic Ozempic. Also, guys, if you're interested in getting your testosterone, getting a free testosterone screening, text Clay to that same number, 601-327-8550. If you're waking up without the morning wood, you're definitely going to want to get the testosterone going. Then you get the Ozempic going, and you are a machine.
Yes.
You will become a machine. And
what was the name of the company again, Joey?
It's Men's Health of Mississippi.
Men's Health of Mississippi, okay.
They're one of our great sponsors here on the Clay Edwards Show and the WYAB. I do some stuff with them on the side with social media.
Yeah.
And, of course, we do a package here on the radio show.
Absolutely.
So if you have any questions, holler at your boy. I will gladly answer any of them. I'm available on the Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944, or Clay at WYAB.com. Y'all know how to find me. I'm the most accessible.
Just Google it.
Yeah, I am the most accessible radio host in the state, I believe. All right, man, we've got Matthew Bishop here in the studio, host of The Full Story. Matt, let's just be real blunt here.
Yeah.
All things being fair and equal, which they're not going to be.
Right.
Is Donald Trump going to win Tuesday?
So I've said, about this election is it's really the test of the bases. I've said that before. Is there's no such thing as an undecided vote at this point. Millions of people have already voted as well. Right now, Donald Trump definitely has the momentum behind him. We talk about the polls, but not even the polls. We look, like I said, you just have to look at it. He sold out Madison Square Garden. He said 200,000 people waiting for him. The momentum is behind him. His base is motivated much more so than Kamala Harris's base right now. I covered on my show last week about how progressives are now getting angry at her because she's trying to court too many Republicans and she's losing out on them now. So losing that progressive momentum for her. And so everything is going in Donald Trump's favor right now. And he just got to finish it out. And I think, like I said, that to me, that's going to be the goal. If he can get his base motivated, which they are, then he has a real shot of getting this thing.
I think his base is motivated.
Yeah.
I told you the other day, I don't know if I've told you since we were on the air together, but I went and absentee voted.
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going to be in Florida for 24 straight hours.
Yeah.
And don't foresee being able to get back over to my precinct and vote.
Right.
So technically, I'm out of town. I'm on call. I did not break the law. I just want to make sure, I'm on call. I did not break the law. I did not voter fraud, no crazy stuff like that. Somebody accused me of that online. And I told them what I did. I was like, no, I absolutely did not.
That's right.
And
you didn't vote 4 times?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I did. I 100% voted for Trump.
Yeah.
I voted for Jennifer Branning for Supreme Court. Really, really like Jennifer. I voted for Josh McCrory. I forget exactly which judgeship he's running for. I kind of get those confused a little bit, but I personally know Josh. He's a great man. I wrote in somebody for Michael Guest, and I wrote in somebody for Roger Wicker.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing the same with Michael Guest and Roger Wicker. I've been thinking, who am I going to write in? I just thought about Mickey Mouse for a certain point, but
yeah, I wrote in Fred Shanks as one of them, and then John Gotti is the other.
Okay,
I don't remember who's who.
Yeah, but I can't in good conscience vote for Guest. So
I can't either. Let's take a call on the Mazda of Jackson phone line this morning. Hey, good morning. You're on there.
Hey, this is Will. Let me ask you a question right quick. I heard something about if there was any kind of like when you go to the polls, they give you your paper to vote on. If they put any kind of like check mark or any kind of mark on that piece of paper, will it automatically kick it out?
So I can tell you just from my own experience working with polling machines and lawsuits in regards to said polling machines. First off, make sure when you get your ballot that there's nothing wrong with rejecting a ballot. Say, hey, can I have another ballot? Right. So first off, just checking to make sure. The ballots are pretty good at picking up anomalies and things like that. Generally. Unless you vote for, unless you have literally voting for two separate, two people for the same thing, in which case it is going to reject it. So that's why I tell people, anytime you get it, right, just double check your ballot. Check it when you get it after it comes out, just to make sure. That doesn't hurt to have that extra security.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all. Love your show. Keep the good work up, Clay.
Thank you, brother. I'm going to add a little something to that as soon as you hang up here. So I'll tell you all the process real quick.
Yeah,
on the absentee is you walk in. I keep my voter registration card in my wallet. I don't think you have to have it. You can do your address there, but I have my voter registration card, my ID. It took 17 minutes from the time I parked my car to the time I got back in my car. So it was really quick, really easy. There was probably 20 people in front of me. It's an They got it figured out there down there. Shout out to all the folks at the Rankin County Circuit Clerk's office right there on 80 in Brandon or West Government Street. They verify your ID.
Yep.
You got to have an ID to vote still in Rankin County. I can't speak for anywhere else. I'm sure it's the same, but here in Mississippi, you bring your ID.
Got to have it.
So they hand you an envelope. It does not have your ballot in it. They hand you an envelope. You sign it. They confirm it's some security stuff. Then you go to the back of the counter. A lady hands you your ballot, and make sure they make sure to tell you, hey, there's somebody on the back here. It didn't all fit on the front. There's somebody on the back. Here's what you do: fill it out. Then you take it down to this other lady. They said, we cannot touch your ballot again. We cannot touch your ballot again. You have to put the ballot in the envelope. The lady at the end takes a glue stick, runs the glue stick over it, seals it, puts and then you sign where it seals. It's kind of like sealing tape, so to say. So if that's torn or whatever, it's no good, or it has to be open, whatever. Right. And you put it in the box, and bada bing, bada boom.
And really, like I said, the problem with voting is not in those kind of votes that we see, right? It's affidavits votes, or people are just trying to follow affidavits. They're not registered, so they try to do it at the day of. And here in Mississippi, we've done a lot to have voter integrity, but in other states, they don't have that, right? When I voted, and when I was registered in Hawaii, when I lived there was no voter ID. You just walked in, you just vote. It was crazy. I was kind of surprised that, hey, how I want to say easy, but it shouldn't have been that easy, right? Voting should be easy, but protective. Like I said, it's not, the problems aren't going to usually come in that regard. It's going to come into affidavit votes. It's going to come into people voting in precincts they're not supposed to be voting in. That's where the problems are going to come in, more so than your regular absentee vote or going to the polls.
100%. All right, Matt Bishop, appreciate you taking the time with us this morning. What did I tell you? Let's get one more call real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, on the Mazda Jackson phone line, you're on there.
Good morning, Clay. Good morning, Matt. This is Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Question for you. because I don't know, and some other people may not either. Are you still able to absentee vote? And if so, when is the cutoff?
Yeah, you can still vote. I'm not sure when the cutoff is. You would need to call your local circuit clerk's office.
Yeah, I would call them to double check, but normally you can absentee all the way up until the day of the election. If again, in Mississippi, you have to have a reason why you're not going to be there, as Clay just mentioned, right? You just can't do it because you don't feel like doing it on Tuesday and want to beat the crowds.
There's a bunch of good, easy, valid reasons. Just about everybody can find a way to qualify to
exactly,
vote.
And it's not like they're sending investigators out either. Not saying not to do it, but it's not like they're sending investigators out to you if you don't do it.
Don't lie. I mean,
right.
but hey, you could have a trip scheduled that gets canceled that day.
Right.
You could be on call. You're an Uber driver. You could be on call and not be able to vote.
Right.
So you would qualify.
Right. I was just wasn't sure if there was a cutoff date whenever they quit doing absentee votes. But if it goes all the way up to the day before the election, then that answers my question.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the cutoff. Yeah, I would like to say you're in Rankin County, holler over there at the circuit clerk's office, and they'll let you know, hey, maybe somebody from over at the circuit clerk's office is listening to the show, or if anybody knows, text into the show, let us know, is there an early cutoff for absentee? It's not called early voting. It's called absentee voting.
That's right.
So,
all right. Thank you, guys. Keep up the good work.
Yep. All right. Matt Bishop, thank you for taking a couple segments with us this morning. And you guys always be sure to tune in to Matt's show every Monday through Friday, 6A to 7A. It's the live lead-in to the Clay Edwards Show. We love having him here back at WYAB. What a great time to have you here with such an important election.
Always great to be here.
All right, brother. Have a blessed one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me log off the radio real quick. Online audience, y'all stay tuned. Radio audience, we will be right back. All right, Matt. Appreciate you, brother.
So you're doing a show Tuesday morning too, before the.
Yeah, it's gonna be a straight marathon, man. Me and Sean will be here. Well, I'll have my Tuesday morning show. I think he's got court, but I'll have my Tuesday morning show. Yeah. Then I'm gonna be prepping and paying attention and seeing what's going on all day, and then 6 p.m. we're gonna hit it back and go live until I don't know. I won't say until there's a winner, but until everything's shut down for the night. Yeah,
no,
then I'll
fun.
Then I'll be back. I'll be back Wednesday morning, 7 a.m.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be asleep over there on that couch. I'm not going to drive back to downtown Brandon and come back. That was kind of my point in absentee voting.
Yeah, no, me and the other guy I had for the full story. We did the first one in 2016 here, it was Donald Trump's first election. Now, I'll be honest with you, I was really going for Donald Trump. But I was like, man, I just don't see how he can win. Yeah. The polls weren't looking great, so I was like, this is going to be a fun night, and then. I'll never forget it. We had some great sponsors, and we had an alcohol sponsor, so I had some champagne ready.
Oh, nice!
And I had some whiskey ready and some champagne ready, depending on what the result was going to be. and I was just so it was a remarkable night.
We did get a text as far as the early voting. Saturday is the last day in Madison.
Okay, in Madison,
in Madison County. So thanks, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the election night. So we did. Sean and I did a big election night coverage for the statewide with governor this last run, and it was extremely well received. Yeah. We had a great time. The streaming numbers were huge and it was maxed out. Couldn't get another person in the stream. Yeah. Now we weren't doing video, but you know how the WYAB stream works. It maxed out. Heavy calls, heavy interest. We had a lot of guests, a lot of good, smart people. Yeah. Sean is kind of a polls nerd, so he was really watching everything. And we were watching, man, just ended up having a really good time. It's like, that was just with statewide and, of course, governors at the top of the ticket. Yeah. So, anyway, we plan on trying to recapture that magic with this. I think it's going to be a good time.
It's
Hopefully
fun.
It becomes a staple of WYAB.
Yeah. Get you some Mexican food.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Chip Matthews said he was going to send us some pizza, and I just don't know that I want that. I think I want to do Mexican.
Yeah, I don't know if I want anything from Chip Matthews, but that's a different story.
Be good, brother.
Thanks again, man.
All right, brother. Thank you. All right, man. Let's pull back up the chats here. Hope everybody's having a good morning out there in radio land. More of me, less of that. Make sure my camera gets adjusted back right. Bada boom. See, I'm kind of looking at y'all's polls. Looking at y'all's questions here. Let me pull my schedule back up to make sure I don't run over. All right, we got about 2 minutes before the commercials come back. I don't know what kind of vacuum that is, Brent. That's it's the radio stations. Kara asked, is there a poll that we should pay attention to more than another one? One on both sides we can trust. I wish I had asked that before he left the room. Chris, I didn't forget to put the vacuum cleaner up. I'm not the janitor.
Rasmussen or New York Times Siena.
All right, Rasmussen or New York Times Siena. Chris, Matt poked his head back in the door here and said, Kara, Rasmussen's or New York Times Siena. What's up, Do Me Next on YouTube? Michael. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB. I feel like my headphones aren't never quite as loud as I want them to be. Appreciate you guys tuning in this morning. We are live on 103.9 FM. And of course, we're streaming worldwide in 4K video at WYAB, I'm sorry, at Save JXN on Facebook, YouTube, X, and of course the Clay Edwards Show Rumble page. Man, y'all really been surprising me over there with the support on Rumble. The YouTube numbers, it is fun watching those grow too. The first couple weeks, we only had about 200 people total. Kind of by the end of the day that watched the live stream, which, hey, that is 200 people that chose to hear what we had to say. We're up to each live stream now doing over 1,000 people on YouTube, which is good growth. Facebook numbers are bigger than that, but Facebook numbers just count, like a 3 second, who watched 3 seconds of it. So it's hard to get a legitimate real number out of Facebook because people are just strolling through. They'll see something, they'll listen for a second. Those YouTube numbers, those Rumble numbers, those are legitimate numbers because that's people who tracked it out and went there because they wanted to watch it. So I'm very, very pleased with those numbers. Not to bog y'all down, but that's because y'all are helping so much with your sharing and liking and commenting. It's helping us defeat that big tech algorithm that normally, I hate to say shadow ban because usually most people don't get shadow banned. Most people's content just sucks. I don't believe our content sucks. I do believe occasionally outspoken conservatives do in fact get shadow banned though. But when you guys engage with us, you help our content defeat the shadow ban. So please continue to do what y'all are doing. Hey, and don't forget, this Friday, I'm going to be out there broadcasting live starting around 3 o'clock at 042 Wine and Spirits. It is their private barrel release of Four Roses bourbon. That's right. It's a OESO. It's a it's been aged 9 years and 2 months. It's 122.3 proof OESO recipe, low rye with rich fruits. The actual event is from 4:30 to 6:30. But again, I'll be broadcasting live, probably get out there about an hour earlier than that. We want to show the folks at 042 Wine and Spirits how many Clay Edwards Show listeners we can get out there. I'm telling them I want to see 200 people that support the Clay Edwards Show coming out there and supporting 042 Wine and Spirits. Y'all help me make that a reality. This Friday is one of our very own locally owned wine and spirit stores are getting their own private barrel of Four Roses bourbon. Super excited about that. That's this Friday, November 1st. And it will be a tasting. That's right. Join us for a tasting of our very first private selection. There will be cigar pairings, live blues music, and more, as well as a Clay Edwards Show live broadcast. So if anybody's interested in sitting down and chopping it up with me on location, we can kind of keep it on topic. That's always the preferred thing. But come join me, come meet me, come grab a FAFO shirt. I will have them with me and enjoy a sip of their private barrel release from 042 Wine and Spirits and Four Roses Bourbon this Friday. All right, let's see here. We got a couple questions here in the comments. Michael Scott Britt on Facebook asks, Clay, do you think they are throttling his show? Circle back. Do I think they're throttling whose show? I kind of missed that there. Whose show do I think they're throttling? The answer is probably yes. Let's see here. Brent, y'all are liking the vacuum cleaner. The vacuum cleaner is in the studio. We actually keep things clean around here, believe it or not. The owner is also the janitor, and he is a bit OCD when it comes to how clean the place is. He likes his vacuum cleaner. Let's see here. We got a question from Do Me Next on YouTube. He says, do we really need to find a viable alternative to vote for instead of Michael Guest? That dude is a complete sellout. He says we really do need to find. Man, I tell you, I don't foresee it happening anytime soon, but I'm with you. He is he's going up there to Washington and jump right into it. Just whatever the party says do, he does. And in defense of Congress, there ain't a whole lot they can do right now. But man, can we just put America first for once? Is that too much to ask for? Could we just put America first for once? Whatever. The Guns of Gear text line, 769-241-1944. Jason says he's going to write down my name for Roger Wicker and Michael Guest. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Let's see here. Got a little information on the absentee voting, by the way. We brought that up. Is this local in Mississippi? We were just talking about the deadlines. This is the deadline week if you need to vote an absentee. Again, all 82, this is Mississippi. All 82 circuit clerks are asking voters to look at their calendar to make sure that they will be able to go vote in their precinct on November 5th, 2024, having scheduled vacations, conferences, surgeries, etc. There are many professionals that have a need to vote absentee each election. These include truck drivers, 12-hour shift workers from 7A to 7P, railroad workers, those working at Nissan and other cities where there is a daily commute. Please remind college students with different spring breaks that they need to vote now whenever they are in town. All circuit clerk offices will be open this coming Saturday from 8 a.m. till noon and on November 3rd. From 8 a.m. to noon on November 3rd. To accommodate those voters unable to come during the regular office hours of 8 to 5 during the weekdays. November 3rd is the final deadline for in-person absentee voting. So, guys, you got till this Saturday to vote absentee. Kind of continuing on, voters over the age of 65 are encouraged to go to their precinct location since giving up the touchscreens. And let me read that again. Voters over 65 are encouraged to go to their precinct locations since giving up the touch screens, and there is no long line with our paper scannable ballots, whereas you walk in and walk out. Plus, if you make a mistake, voters can correct the ballot then and there. Hey, look, man, it was a very easy, pleasurable experience. Thank you to whoever texted that to me. It was a very easy and pleasurable experience, absentee voting the other day. I could not have asked for a simpler ordeal at all. Let's see. I had a few more texts. What is Katie saying here? Katie says absentee votes usually cut off at 12 on Saturday. Like I said right there, I think it's going till 3 Saturday. Is that what it was? Till no, it's Saturday, 8 a.m. to noon. 8 a.m. to noon Saturday. So you got till lunchtime Saturday. Appreciate everybody helping out with that. Like to get the good information out there and be correct. Peekaboo says, I've heard poly market polls are good. Yeah, Trump's doing really, really well with the gambling markets. Let's see here. Chris had a question. Chris says, I have one question about the election that neither candidate have answered or were asked. Why is there no safe room in the Delta for tornadoes, especially since Rolling Fork last year? Well, I don't think that has anything to do with either of the candidates. That has to do with local politics. That's a question for the mayor and the board of aldermen or city council up there. But yeah, 100%. The Delta, there should be way more safe rooms throughout Mississippi. We are Tornado Alley now. And I would love to see the legislature come up with some money. And with all that said, maybe there is some money. Maybe it has been given to people, and it has not been properly spent. I do not want to misspeak, but yeah, I do agree. I would like to see some more tornado safe rooms all throughout Mississippi, Chris, especially in the Delta and places that seem to be right there through Tornado Alley. We got to take our last break of this hour. Caller, stay on hold. When we come back, we'll close out the first hour, and we've got a whole nother hour to go. I want to get into the Joe Rogan, Donald Trump interview. I got a bunch of clips from it. And, of course, Trump with that MSG last night tearing the roof off the place, too. Let's keep it all national here on a Monday. As we await on indictments to drop here locally, we're kind of in like a hurry up and wait mode there. I don't have much else to add to that. So let's keep it national today. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I will be right back. All right, Chris, I hope that answered that question for you. I agree. Is Saturday the 2nd, Brent? Yeah, Saturday is the 2nd. So there must have been a typo in that screenshot I have, so I do apologize there. Okay, Chris clarifying, says he was talking about, let me pull y'all up on the screen so everybody can see each other's chats. Chris said he was talking about state candidates like Benny Thompson and others running for his seat. Well, I imagine that I'm about to see, Ron Eller is going to be on the Chip Matthews show today. He's on here. He's on with him every Monday and Tuesday, it seems like. If I see Ron Eller in here during the next hour, I will ask Ron Eller to address that on the radio. That is a really good question, Chris. I think there should be some state money for tornado safety. Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. I got to send a good morning text. Y'all bear with me 1 second. All right. Sent. Yeah, man, gonna be a good time this Friday there at 042 Wine and Spirits. Can't wait to see everybody come out and support that. Really cool that a local liquor store is getting a private barrel of such a big legendary brand like Four Roses. Super excited about that. Super excited. Over Under says, I hope this is not like 2020. Man, there was a lot going on in 2020. I think we can just all agree. There was a lot going on. So I'm optimistically cautious about all of it. It's just optimistically cautious. So we'll see how it shakes out. I never underestimate Shinsu, or whatever, that wrote The Art of War. Do not underestimate your opponent. The right has gotten really bad about underestimating our opponents. And we set the bar so low for them that anytime they do anything above the worst, it makes it look like they did good. It's like Joe Biden at the State of the Union. You know, we were shocked he could get through a sentence, and he ended up making it through the whole hour. And he sucked. And it was a terrible performance. But based on how low we had set the bar, ended up being a good performance. We thought that we were going to win in 2020 because Biden never left the basement. Of course, we know what happened. It is what it is. But nonetheless, we just got 4 years of Biden regardless. So we definitely do not need to underestimate our opponents, not because they got the ability of a knockout blow, but because they will do anything to win. And I don't think the right will. I think that's the difference. Like, we just want everything to be fair and equal and balanced and, oh, shucks, man, we did it the right way. We just came up short. Hell no. We got to fight to win. We're getting ready to come back from break. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. Let's go straight to the Mazda Jackson phone line as we close out the first hour. Hey, you got about a minute.
Hey there, it's Buddy.
Hey, buddy, you got about 60 seconds, brother.
Look, okay, I have been a poll watcher on 3 occasions. One of them, when we closed out the polls, about 50% had voted. By the time the book was turned in, after I left, it was nearly 100%. And it went landslide Democratic. Is Richard White running then? He appealed it to the courts, it came back, had about a 47% vote. It was a landslide Republican. The next time I poll watched was in Terry, Mississippi. I learned something. I stayed with them until they sealed everything up, supposedly. We got to go to Hinds County Courthouse. When they left, we spent an hour and a half driving back roads, them trying to lose me. And I've always been one that's always kept at least one vehicle and run fast, and I chased them for an hour and a half. Democrats cheat. They're demon-possessed. All they know.
We lost Buddy there. He ran up against the break. It happens. Buddy, call back at the top of the hour, and we'll try to get that adjusted. All right, everybody, y'all give me just a minute here. I need to get some clips queued up. You got to bear with me here. This is going to be really unentertaining, but I will leave the mic on and kind of leave it up here. But I'm going to I got to put my headphones on and get these Joe Rogan, Donald Trump clips queued up for us that are in this next hour here. So y'all chat amongst yourselves real quick. Boom, shakalaka boom. We're back. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the radio, the Clay Edwards Show. Your girlfriend's favorite radio show, the show she told you not to worry about. Worldwide at WYAB.com, all over the internet in 4K, on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, at SaveJXN, and of course on Rumble at Clay Edwards Show. Let's kick off hour 2 with what you gonna do when Hulk Hogan and Donald Trump run wild on you. Can't wait for this.
You know, I've been coming to this building month after month after month, and I've seen sold-out crowds over and over again for over 40 years. And for 40 years, I've always asked the question, what you gonna do? Over and over and over again, what you gonna do? Well, today, after feeling the energy in this building, I finally got the answer. And the answer is, vote for Trump. So now, I got a couple questions for you. What you gonna do about the border invasion? What you gonna do about inflation? What you gonna do about keeping America safe, brother? And what you gonna do about putting God in our homes, in our country, and our schools? So I guess we're all on the same page. So I got one final question for you. What you gonna do, and who's gonna make America great again? God bless Donald Trump. He's our next president.
Our Lord and Savior, Donald J. Trump. Y'all know I just kid when I say that, right? I know some people get all salty when I call Trump our Lord and Savior. The nexus behind that joke is that so many people on the left call us a cult. So I just like to agitate them and aggravate them a little bit and say, call Trump our Lord and Savior. It makes their head spin around like the Exorcist when we do it. And anything that makes their head literally spin around like the Exorcist, I like doing. Obviously, there's only one Lord and Savior, and that's Jesus Christ, our legitimate Lord and Savior. Let's take a call on the Mazda Jackson phone line before we start getting into all these clips this morning. Hey, buddy, if you're still listening, feel free to call back if you want to, brother. The top of the hour news cut you off there. Hey, you're on there.
Yeah, do you take calls on Monday morning?
Yeah, I take calls every day, brother.
Okay. No, I just turned it on and I heard Hulk Hogan. So I wasn't sure where I was, if it was recording or live or call to respond or what.
What you got?
I just heard that Hulk Hogan that you played.
No, I know that, but you called in. What you got?
Yeah. No, listen, I've got Trump signs all over my yard and neighborhood in West Jackson, if you can believe that or not. But just some advice, and this, it's a Jew by blood, Jesus freak. Quit using the word GD. Quit saying that, fellas. Heck, it kind of makes moot what you're saying.
Who's saying it? You
don't need to take the Lord's name, and it's not a big deal, I guess, but it just doesn't sound right to say GD in the same context of bringing God back in school and other religious stuff. It sure doesn't.
Who said
GD? I got Trump signs all over my neighborhood.
Who said GD?
I'm probably going to get shot at putting out more Trump signs. But
who said GD?
What?
Who said GD?
Hogan, all the time. You can't quit using it. It's all over YouTube.
I mean, but he didn't say it then.
No, he didn't say it then. But then it got ads, and he says, vote Trump. GD it? Come on. Don't say that. And again, maybe I'm making too much of a big deal about it. But listen, I'm waiting till January the 1st, and I'm declaring war on everything. I'm a candidate for mayor of Jackson. I'm going to make this city clean and safe. And you can quote me. We're going to make it white again. Going to go from Ditto to Ponto. That's the slogan. He was the last white mayor.
Well, good luck with that,
and
Ponto.
I don't care if it's what?
I was just saying, well, good luck with that, Ponto. Thanks for calling in this morning. Continuing on, we have a lot of the things we want to talk about this morning. This segment is going to be brought to you by our friends out at Acme Pizza and Daiquiris. That's Chip Matthews. He's going to be up next from 9 to 10 p.m. Y'all get out to Acme Pizza tonight. It's Monday Night Football. It's Monday Night Wrestling. A little Monday Night Raw. Get a pizza. Enjoy both. Try the Wheel of Flavor. You got more than one person in your house. You got more than one set of taste buds in your house. Let Acme Pizza and Daiquiris satisfy a little something for everybody. The Wheel of Flavor. You can put up to you can put up to 3 of their 12 specialty pizzas onto one pie, so you can satisfy everybody's taste buds. Or heck, maybe you just want to try 3 of the different specialty pizzas because you don't know which one you want more. The pig, the shrimpy, the surf and turf. They got so many different ones. Try them all today, or custom build your very own. Y'all know me. I like to keep it simple. If I'm just building my own pizza, I want Canadian bacon, extra cheese, and good crust. I'm simple. But I do enjoy the pig with the fresh cooked from scratch bacon that goes from raw to cooked in the pizza oven. So it gets all that bacon fat down in the cheese, the fresh smoked pulled pork, the sausage. I mean ham, not sausage. It's so good. Try it today right over there at Acme Pizza and Daiquiris. Fannin Mart on the res, right in front of Fannin Lane's Bowling Alley. And stay tuned after my show, as Chip Matthews will be up next. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. The Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. Let's play a few more clips of Donald Trump this morning. Also, everybody's got their panties in a wad about Kill Tony host Tony Hinchcliffe making some jokes there last night. Look, I like Tony Hinchcliffe. None of that bothers me a bit. He's the roast master. You may remember Tony. Like I say, he's got the #1 comedian show on YouTube right now, Kill Tony. They just sold out MSG themselves. He was the head Toastmaster during the roast of Tom Brady. Oh no, he made a joke about Puerto Rico, calling it a big landfill. Oh no, it's not racist. If somewhere's a crap hole, you're allowed to acknowledge it. It's a crap hole. That doesn't mean that the people there are bad people necessarily. It doesn't mean that Puerto Ricans are trash, but Puerto Rico is trash. It's like me saying Jackson is trash, but it does not mean all the people in Jackson are trash. That's not racist. The truth is not racism. Reality is not racism. It's comedy. Get over it, people. Well, let's see here. Kill Tony. Trump survived an assassination attempt and Biden got COVID. We vote next week. God voted months ago. Let's listen to this. I like a good joke. I like to laugh.
People. He was in a sterile room in the White House, watching blood running down Trump's face as he pumps his fist. Biden's like, it's true. Trump survived an assassination attempt and Biden got COVID. We vote next week. God voted 3 months ago.
Let's see here, man. I got a bunch of clips. Queued up here. Here is, and I'm gonna have to have my finger on the bleeper here because Joe. I know Joe doesn't do his shows based on people wanting to be able to play his clips on mainstream media. There's just a part of me that wishes he wouldn't cuss. It's why I try not to cuss nowadays when I do my live streams in case I want a clip to go viral or get used somewhere. I don't think cussing adds anything to it. I mean, I'm guilty of it, but anyway, I just don't think when you interview the president, I don't think you should cuss. Am I wrong on that? I mean, I'm loose-lipped. I mean, I say a lot of edgy things. I mean, I'll drop. There's some words I know I can say on the radio, and there's obviously some words you can't. You know, the S word, the F word, and others. I don't know that it adds anything to it, and it's a bit annoying to have to listen to other people cuss a lot. I mean, I don't think it adds anything to it. You're interviewing the president. I love Joe Rogan, and I loved this interview. I just think, given the moment, you could have done without the cussing. That's all I'm saying. But here is Rogan, or here's Trump on Rogan, a blazing hot take from Joe and Trump here. If you missed out on the 3-hour epic showdown, here's a no-nonsense, straight, whatever. I'm trying to read somebody's caption there. Let's just play this. I like this take.
It's a creepy, corrupt business, and the media, to a large extent, acts as a propaganda arm for the Democratic Party.
It's not even believable.
Yeah, it's bizarre to watch, and most young.
What they're talking about here is the media being a propaganda arm for the Democrat Party, which, duh.
Young people, I think, are aware of it. I think most boomers still, unfortunately, read the newspapers and believe in CNN.
But it's getting younger. Let me tell you, it's getting for us, for a conservative.
Yes.
And I consider myself a person.
It's the internet. It's because the internet's giving people information that they're not getting from anywhere else. And they like the very fine people hoax, the Russiagate hoax, all these different things that they've done. They tried to pin on you. That's like, it's a clear distortion of what you actually said.
The bloodbath hoax.
Yeah,
I was talking about the auto industry.
Yes.
It's a bloodbath because Japan and China are taking our auto. And I said, it's a bloodbath. They said, he used the word bloodbath.
He said, if you don't win, it's going to be a bloodbath because they're going to take over. That's exactly what you said.
It's a terrible thing they do.
But that's the problem with propagandists, because they take things out of context, and ultimately what they do is they diminish their own credibility because people don't want to listen to them anymore because they see that they've done that and they recognize what's going on and they feel insulted. Their intelligence is getting insulted.
So I'm going to add to that. I've got some stuff right here. Sorry, guys. This is a one-man army in the mornings here. But I want to play. There's a great Twitter account. It's ran by the Trump folks. It's called Kamala HQ Lies. There's a Kamala HQ headquarters account on X, and they like to take all of Trump's stuff out of context. Nobody takes out of context better than the left. And they like to just take little snippets and make you think Trump said that, like the bloodbath hoax, like the very fine people hoax. They like to take the middle of a sentence and then take that and feed it to their NPC bot base out there, a bunch of non-playable characters. Oh my God, he said something racist. No, he did not. If you take 3 words out of the middle of any sentence, you could pretend something was racist. But here is a clip where Kamala HQ tried to say that Trump fantasizes about decapitating a reporter. That's the claim. The truth is Trump was applauding J.D. Vance for doing a stellar job on Meet the Press. Taking this out of context is vile. Trump is in no way fantasizing about harming anyone, but this is what the left does. And this is what gets their nut job base so riled up that they want to assassinate our Lord and Savior Donald J. Trump. I'm going to play y'all the whole clip here. It's about 25 seconds.
It's not easy when you have a majority of 3, but he's done a great job, and he's going to continue to do a great job, and we like him. He's a terrific person. I watched him just totally decapitate a fake reporter on NBC, Meet the Fake Press. What he did to her was, I think that she'll never be the same.
All right, so did that sound remotely like Trump said a reporter should be, that he was fantasizing about a reporter being decapitated? Why does the left take everything so literal? I mean, these were the people who claimed to be the arts, to be the comedians, to drive culture. But they take everything so literal. All I can think about is, here on a local level, is the people over at the Mississippi Free Press, Ashton Pittman, Donna Ladd, just all of them. They take everything so literally. I mean, if they ever say the word literally, you know you're about to hear some lies, some literal lies. Let's see here. I got a few more clips of this just fakeness, man, and it makes me mad. We're going to play this and we're going to take a break. The claim here from Kamala HQ. Again, this is the official Twitter handle for Kamala Harris spreading misinformation and disinformation. It says, Trump says America's military generals are weak and stupid. The truth is, Trump called them stupid because they tried to stop him from destroying ISIS. Now let's listen to the full clip and, give you the actual context.
Start a war. Remember Crooked Hillary? Remember Crooked Hillary Clinton? Crooked Hillary, oh, she was a beauty. During one of our many debates, she said, look at him, listen to him. He's going to start a war. Listen to his rhetoric. He's going to start a war. I said, no. My rhetoric is going to keep us out of wars. And that's what happened. 82 years. Other than I finished off ISIS, but that was already started. We had stupid generals like Milley and Mattis, weak, stupid people. But fear not, we have great generals, just not the ones that you see on television all the time. And we wiped them out very quickly. It was going to take 5 years. Mattis said it would take 5 years, and I'm not sure we could do it. It took us like 4 weeks. We have great generals. We have the greatest military in the world. Just a lot of people don't know that. And everybody knows it, but, I saw the other day a report that they issued that if we end up...
All right, you get the point there. I don't disagree with anything Trump said there. Let's take a break. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show. Guys, don't forget this Friday night, Martin's downtown. It's Kill Devil Hill live in concert. You want a rock show? You got a rock show coming to Martin's downtown this Friday night with special guest Flinghammer. Either one of these two groups could sell Martin's out by themselves. They're teaming up to give you a hell of a low-dough rock show. Two of the best rock bands to ever come out of this area. Kill Devil Hill's not really from here, but the singer Dewey Bragg is the singer of Kill Devil Hill. He's got lineage all the way back tied in with Lillian and Axe and so many other great bands. This is a bit of a heavy metal super group. And then, of course, everybody knows Fling Hammer, one of the biggest bands to come out of the Jackson area back in the 90s. They still get together and do at least one show a year. It's at Martin's. They're teaming up this Friday night. Get your tickets now, Martin's Downtown, jxn.com. We'll be right back on The Clay Edwards Show. All right, let's check out some of your chats here. Appreciate everybody, man. Y'all hit the share button, hit the like button, if you would. I assume everybody could hear the sound on those videos today. I think I got that problem situated. If you could hear the sound, just give me a thumbs up there in the chats. Let's check out some of your Guns and Gear texts. See if there's anything worth oh yeah, somebody just texted in. Remember when Kathy Griffin did this, and it was her holding the Trump head. She actually effed around and found out on that a little bit. She actually effed around and found out on that some. All right, Peekaboo says sound was good. All right, so I know what I got to do. I know what I was doing wrong last week when y'all couldn't hear the sound on the videos. I actually have to show the video on the screen for you all to hear the video with this app that I use. So no harm, no foul. We know what to do moving forward there. Good stuff. Roger says, well, we all wanted Joe to be Joe and need a fake or something different than we are used to. But if he did not cuss, then he would not look like, okay, I know what we're talking about now. Hold on. Well, we all wanted Joe to be Joe and need a fake or something different than what we are used to. But if he did not cuss, then that would not look like the real Joe that we all know and love. Yeah. I can give you that. But I also sometimes feel like you got to be situationally aware, and you're there with the president. You know, it doesn't bother me. I guess I'm really only complaining because it's a lot of clips I would like to play on the radio that make it difficult to play on the radio. That's all I'm saying. Grady says, Clay, you have to remember, he would call into the dealership trying to buy a car, wanted to trade broke down cars in his yard on a fixed income, no credit. Oh, yeah, talking about Ponto? Yeah, trust me. I've spent hours on the phone with Ponto when I was at the Buy Here, Pay Here lot. Did he really say make Jackson white again? Good luck with that. Now, see, that's racist, by the way. That's racist. And what are we talking about GD? We don't say GD on the show. We didn't play any clips to say GD. He's off his GD rocker. Let's see here. Daniel in the live chat says, I don't trust that this election will be an honest count. Look at what happened last time. Yeah, Daniel, I agree, man. I do agree. I'm going to play a video when we come back. We're going to deviate just a little bit from the game plan. Let me find it real quick. I got it saved on Instagram, but I hate playing videos from Instagram. They're a pain in the butt. There's a theory floating around on the internet that cocaine found in the White House may have belonged to Kamala Harris. Let me type this in real quick. Yeah, I got it right here. I'm not convinced that Kamala Harris isn't strung out. I wish everybody could watch this video. I wish everybody could watch this video on the stream that's watching on radio, because it is something else. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. We're live here on WYAB. We're streaming worldwide at WYAB.com, as well as the TuneIn app and Alexa. Appreciate you guys tuning in this morning. Of course, if you're watching online in 4K on the Save Jackson, that's Save JXN, Facebook, YouTube, X, and the Clay Edwards Show Rumble, you're about to get to see a video as well as hear it. Radio Land audience, you're going to have to listen, but I recommend going back and watching, because I have a theory. I have a theory I'm going to tell you all about here right on the other side of this ad read. But first, A1 Gear and Auto. Go see my folks today. Well, if you have to, if you're having any troubles with your automobile, maybe you need your brakes replaced, maybe your check engine light's on, maybe your air conditioner ain't working quite right, your heater ain't working quite right, they got you covered at A1 Gear and Auto. Anything from a full engine rebuild all the way to an oil change, A1 Gear and Auto's got you covered. But what they specialize in is your ring and pinion stuff. So if you're having any issues with your rear end, your front end, any of that stuff on your rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive vehicles, they can get you rolling. Let me paint an easier picture for y'all to understand real quick, 30 seconds or less here. You get out there, and I know so many people are doing it now. You're buying these Jeeps, for example. You're jacking them up. You're putting these big rims and tires on them. Man, that factory ring and pinion, it ain't made to be turning those big wheels and tires at the same ratio that factory one is. And frankly, your brakes aren't made to stop it either, like they're supposed to. You need to get over there to A1 Gear and Auto, let them put the proper size ring and pinion in there to offset those bigger wheels and tires so you don't lose power, you're not getting worse gas mileage, all of that good stuff. Justin can explain all of that to you there in person. Like I said, so many people are going and doing this. They don't know anything about the negative side effects, the weird geometry it puts your vehicle in, and everything else. So check them out today, A1 Gear and Auto, Highway 49 South, Florence, Mississippi. If you're heading south on 49, they're right there on your right. As soon as you get through Richland, big white building, big red sign, A1 Gear and Auto, locally owned, locally operated. They diagnose it right the first time, which saves you money in the long run, and time is money. So A1 Gear and Auto. All right, man, so there's been this rumor floating around on the internet here for a few days that maybe that the cocaine found in the White House wasn't Hunter Biden's cocaine. Well, you're like, Clay, who else could it be? Who else would have cocaine in the White House? Who could it possibly be if it wasn't Hunter Biden? Could it be one of those diversity hires? Could it be Karine Jean-Pierre? Could it be Joe's? Or could it be the main diversity hire? I don't know. What's a good analogy? The Michael Jordan of diversity hires? The diversity hire. Like if you looked up diversity hire in the dictionary, there'd be a picture of, drum roll please, Kamala Harris. We have video that lends credence to the fact that it very well could be, allegedly, of course, Kamala Harris. And we're going to play that now. This is about I don't know if I'm going to play the whole 3.5 minutes, but we're going to enjoy Kamala Harris, allegedly, on cocaine.
No, the thing about this, I always wanted to go to Howard, and I went to Howard. And actually, it was in February of 2004. Olives with cream cheese on dark rye. And so it's remember, I'm a prosecutor. I have focused on that. I mean, in a nutshell. Yeah. And it was the assessor at the time. Can you perform some marriages? We need more people. And every nook and cranny of City Hall. Yes. Important is that we also appreciate the nuance. You know, there's a lot to do. There's a lot more to do. Who's over the age of 18 as though they're an adult. You know, because it was doubling it, right? Right, where poor people sit in jail and people who have money get out, that there is no difference between any of the kids, our kids, and those kids who are otherwise in the system. So, for example, not to sell you a bag of you-know-what, but it was difficult to do. It was, in large part, I've got big signs, Dreamers Welcome Here. I've got the rainbow flag. And they were like, why are you putting the rainbow flag? I had to get permission, but I got it. Whatever. And I was like, yo, Rand. So, hey, Rand, how you people doing with it? Good? I've taught him how to chop the onions. Oh, honey, baby, what happened? I'll take care of you. They are in California now, but New Jersey is very much in them.
right. I don't know how well that's translating to radio, but guys, if you're watching it in person, and this is all from one interview, there is some editing there. Editing or not, she's rubbing her nose constantly. She's very erratic, flailing her arms everywhere. I mean, look, I'm just going to say, y'all know Clay Edwards has got a past. I do. I have a past that I'm not extremely proud of, and I may or may not have partaken in some of those kind of activities. And I'm going to tell you, the old saying, it takes one to know one? I'm pretty damn sure that Kamala Harris could very well be up on that booger sugar. I can't confirm nor deny that Kamala is up on that booger sugar. When we come back from this next break, man, there's a new ad playing that is absolutely terrifying. It's a pack. It's one of these super PACs. It's doing an ad holding her accountable for her record in California. Did y'all know that Kamala openly brags about arresting parents whose children are in the hospital sick because they missed school? It's terrifying. She's going to bring that to the rest of America if she's elected president of the United States. When we get back, that'll be the first thing we do is play that video here on the Clay Edwards Show. Stay tuned. Yeah, there's no way she ain't high as hell. Ain't no way she ain't high as hell. I'm going to drop the link to that X in the comments here. And y'all can make up your own minds. But I think Kamala should do a drug test right now. I think she should absolutely do a drug test right now. Yeah, you know what? Justin Dunn on YouTube just said, did you see Big Mike's nose all dripping from her emotional speech? That booger sugar was rampant in D.C. I'm glad you mentioned that. I actually have that video also. And I will play that as well. I was planning on playing a little bit more of the Joe Rogan, Donald Trump stuff, but kind of once I got to jumping on these rabbit holes, I don't know that happened Friday night at this point. I don't know how. I think everybody's got about all they want out of that. Let's see here. Y'all bear with me. I'm looking for this video I posted on my Facebook page the other day of Kamala. It's about 3 minutes long, so I'll try to post those longer videos there. I got to get it queued up where I can share the screen. I appreciate y'all's patience with me. It is what it is of Kamala bragging about locking parents up. This is terrifying. If you're a parental rights person, this should be the only video you have to see. This should disqualify her immediately. Should immediately disqualify her. While we're looking at that, I want to find that. I got that Michelle Obama stuff too. Michelle Obama having the audacity to talk about Trump hiding. The left is something else. People getting loud over there in the other room there. Let's see here. Go to my bookmarks. We're in commercial break right now. That's why I'm kind of bouncing around here. So y'all bear with you, brother. I'm looking for the Michelle, but here it is. Got it. We'll play that next. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. This segment brought to you by our friends over at Mazda of Jackson. There's never been a better time to buy a Mazda, and the best deals around are at Mazda of Jackson. Mazda is one of the top 5 most dependable brands around, and Mazda of Jackson has hundreds of new and used available right now. Check out all the APR specials they've got for up to 72 months. They've got some APR and rebate specials you can actually combine. Check out MazdaofJackson.com now to see whatever this month's specials are as October closes to an end. Hey, don't forget also, all new Mazdas come with a lifetime powertrain warranty. That is legit 100%. There is no catch involved. It is a real lifetime powertrain warranty only at Mazda of Jackson. Shop them online now at MazdaofJackson.com. And, of course, swing by in person. See my buddy Mr. Grady Portera there at Mazda of Jackson, located right there on 55 North at Briarwood Drive. All right, we're going to hit y'all with a few more sponsor ads before we get out of here, guys. We got to pay the bills, got to pay the bills. But let's squeeze in as much content as we can, too. Because I'm going to tell y'all what, man, y'all need to get out to have either one of the Havana smoke shops and get yourself a big old cigar and save it for Tuesday. We'll get you one for Friday to bring to you to the wine, to the bourbon release out at 042 Wine. But get you a cigar and let's save it for Tuesday night and plan on lighting them up when Trump wins. But until then, anyway. All right, here's a video, man. Guys, if you got any Democrat friends, you need to share this video with them. It's on my Facebook page, or it's right here, or I'll send it to you, whatever. If you got any Democrat friends that think they're going to vote for Kamala, especially if they have kids, especially if they have school-age kids or grandkids that they're in control of, they have custody of, Kamala wants to bring her California policies to the rest of America because she thinks they worked so well. This video right here, this should be an automatic disqualifier for Kamala to be president, for anybody. This transcends political parties. This is bipartisan right here.
Let's get one thing crystal clear. The vast majority of American men have no issue with electing a female president. Our issue lies solely with you. You were second in charge of California for 13 years.
As California's Attorney General, Harris promoted enforcement of a law that allowed prosecutors to seek jail time for parents of truant kids.
As a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
I thought that was crazy. I was like, how can you lock parents up?
If you don't go to school, Kamala's going to put you and me in jail. Yes, we achieved intended effect.
I opened the door and I see at least 7 or 8 cops wanted to arrest me. As a matter of fact, they did.
And frankly, the prosecutors in my office who volunteered to do this? My homicide prosecutors, my gang prosecutors. And they went over there and I said, when you go over there, look really mean.
She had me arrested and prosecuted because my handicapped daughter was sick in the hospital and had missed some days of school.
I learned that with the swipe of my pen, I could charge someone with the lowest level offense. That person could be arrested. They could lose time from work and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to come out of their own pocket to help hire a lawyer.
That's why I moved out of Jody Owens and Chokwe Lumumba's Jackson, Mississippi.
They'd lose standing in their community.
I lost my job and couldn't pay rent, and we got evicted.
That's a black lady talking right there, by the way, for the people on radio.
Weeks later, I could dismiss the charges. But I
can ruin your life in the short term because I want to. And then I can dismiss the charges once the damages are done. F around and find out with Kamala Harris.
Their life would forever be changed.
I became homeless. We had to move into a motel.
All because of the swipe of my pen.
I don't agree what Kamala Harris did to my mom. And I don't agree with what she's done to other parents as well.
You were second in charge of the United States for 4 years.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Inflation is hitting the highest level in 39 years. A record high number of illegal crossings.
Crime's been surging across the nation.
Huge spikes in homicide.
Could we be heading toward World War III?
After 17 years of failed leadership, you are now asking us to trust you as first in charge of our country.
I am concerned and focused on big issues. Elementary and middle school truancy is actually a big issue. If we're trying to save the state money. Because of truancy, California public schools lose $1.4 billion a year in funding. I want money.
My message to all Americans, do not trust Kamala Harris.
As men and protectors of women and children, you are simply a risk we are not willing to take.
Paid for by Maha Alliance and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Boom. Boom. Scorched earth right there. If you can watch that and you still think to yourself that Kamala Harris is good for America, what the hell is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? If you can watch that and you came out of that and you think to yourself that Kamala Harris is good for America, you are the enemy within that Donald Trump spoke of. If you watch that video or you can listen to that and think to yourself, hell yeah, we need more of that around here. You know, the twist of irony there is in Jackson, where a whole lot of kids aren't going to school and there are massive truancy issues in Jackson, the very people that vote for Kamala would be the ones punished the most by this kind of policy here locally. So I'm kind of conflicted. I'm slightly conflicted here because, you know, I like to see Jacksonians suffer for all the suffering they've made the rest of us do. I love when their own policies and their political votes, I love when it actually comes back and they end up with egg on their face. It's like when they destroy stuff at restaurants and jump up on the countertops and start twerking and all that stuff. But nah, I'm a bad bee. I'm a bad bee. Look at me. Oh, look at you in handcuffs. Bye, bad bee. I love it when it comes back to bite them in the face. Like sanctuary cities is probably the greatest egg on face of Democrats in the world. Is, oh, yes, we're sanctuary cities. Rainbows and butterflies for everybody. We're sanctuary cities. Love Trump's hate. Love Trump's hate. What do you mean all these foreigners are in my are getting my resources, getting my EBT? What do you mean they getting them jobs? What do you mean they got my Obama phone? I thought love Trump's hate, dog. I thought y'all wanted them open borders. Be careful what you wish for. Let's shift gears a little bit here. Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1940. 1940. I got a clip of Big Mike, Michelle Obama, saying some ridiculous stuff. It's just the fact that they can say some of this stuff with a straight face. This is Michelle Obama saying Donald Trump, who nearly had his head blown off on live TV, is cowering in safe spaces, unlike Kamala Harris. This is comical. This is only 23 seconds. We're going to play it real quick. Then we got a caller on hold on the Mazda Jackson phone line.
She's putting herself out there fearlessly, facing down even her harshest critics. She's seeking out Republicans to find common ground. And
Liz Cheney ain't a Republican. Stop.
Unlike her opponent, she's not ducking interviews or cowering in safe spaces.
Or having to duck bullets flying at her.
Only with fawning audiences. No, she's showing us what a sane, stable leader looks like. She's putting herself out there.
A sane, stable leader in front of fawning audiences. She had to promise a Beyonce concert to fill up an arena in Houston, and then Beyonce didn't perform, and they rioted. They rioted at the event because they didn't get their Beyonce concert. Bay didn't play. The Bayhive showed up, and they left mad. They left big mad. Let's take a call on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Hey, you're on there.
Hey, Clay, I'm just going to make a quick comment. To Kamala, truancy is a big deal. It's a really important issue, but I want to tell you a couple of things that aren't important issues to her. Rioting and looting and destroying $1 billion worth of public and private property in 2020.
Nope.
We didn't hear a peep from her during that time.
Oh, no, you heard plenty from her. She was actually bonding those people out of jail. She set up a fund and bonded all those felons out of jail.
Yeah, that's right.
Because of racism.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a good one. Yeah. You heard plenty from her. It just wasn't the narrative they're trying to spew now. Racisms. Rainbows, butterflies. All right, let's take our last break of the day. Come back, land the plane here on the Clay Edwards Show. You never know what you'll get around here on your girlfriend's favorite radio show. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but we'll be right back to land the plane for the day. Is there anything I need to clear out before we get out of here? I think we're caught up on chats. I appreciate everybody tuning in today. When we come back from the break, we're just going to land the plane and bring it home. Y'all be sure to get out and support these great sponsors, man. Havana Smoke Shop. Swing by their Jackson or Reservoir location. Get you a big old cigar to enjoy when we wrap it in red Tuesday night for 4 more years of MAGA. 4 more years to save America. Y'all be sure to get out and join me this Friday at 042 Wine and Spirits, where there will be some cigars available for their big unveiling and a tasting of their private barrel from Four Roses. I'll be there from 4:30 to 6:30 right there on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue, 042 Wine and Spirits in downtown, well, almost downtown Brandon. Looking forward to that. Swing by, grab lunch at Burgers Blues Barbecue, any of their 3 great locations. Madison, Flowwood, downtown Brandon. Grab a plate lunch, grab some wings, grab a burger, whatever your heart desires. They got it all, a good cold beer. And, of course, Johnny's Pizza House. Got pizza combos starting as low as $6.99 for lunch. Located right there in Gluckstadt. And, of course, Martin's, you already know, one of the best plate lunches in all of central Mississippi, if not the best, located in downtown Jackson and at the town of Livingston in Madison County. Grab my shirts, buyfafo.com. If you want one of these shirts right here, the pink ribbon ones, they're 50% off with the purchase of another shirt. You purchase a shirt or a hoodie at regular price, use the promo code PINK at checkout, and you're getting one of these for 50% off, but you got to purchase something else to go with it. All right, man. Enjoyed it today. I had a blast chopping it up with y'all. I'm loving the live comments. I'm loving the conversation. I'm loving the community. I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes to create some more stuff for the community, maybe a membership program. But I want to make sure before we start offering memberships for a price that you guys are getting your money's worth. I don't want to just throw something out there to try to get a few bucks a month from y'all. I want to earn your money. Otherwise, I'm not going to ask for it. But stay tuned for that as we work towards that. I'll be back here tomorrow. And, of course, I'm sure I'll be back streaming live at some point in time today. Waiting on news to break any moment on the mayor of Jackson getting indicted. Wherever I'm at, no matter what I'm doing, I've got all my extra gear with me where I can pull over on the side of the road and do a live stream with professional mics and everything. I'm traveling heavy this week, just in case I'm not in front of my computer when the news breaks of the mayor getting arrested. Allegedly, of course. Y'all stay blessed. Again, thank you all so much. Hit the like button, hit the share button. It all goes so far. Just leave a comment if nothing else. Just a comment if you don't want to do any of the other. If you're a secret Clay Edwards Show fan and you don't want people to know by sharing, just drop a little comment. Hit the little like button. Thank y'all. Stay blessed. Get out there and absentee vote. Make it too big to rig. And don't forget, Sean Yorkron and myself will be here live, broadcasting on WYAB election night starting at 6 p.m., and we'll be on all the video platforms as well. Tons of great guests lined up. Gonna be a blast. Y'all stay blessed. All right, welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show here. Appreciate you guys sticking around and staying tuned while we get through the commercial breaks there. I'm always pleasantly surprised when you stick around. Hey, man, look, This last little segment here brought to you by our friends over at Havana Smoke Shop in Jackson and Havana Cigars on the Res. They're your premier destination for hand-rolled premium cigars in the Jackson metro area. Olivia, Arturo Fuente, Liga Privada, Macanudo, Monte Cristo, and Perdomo cigars, just to name a few. Come by either the Havana Smoke Shop on 55 or the Havana Cigars on the Res by the Spillway right down the road from Willie B's Steakhouse and Acme Pizza, and get your favorite premium cigar or accessory today. Guys, go ahead and get those cigars ready. Get those cigars ready. We're going to bust them out Tuesday night, hopefully by about midnight, when your and my 47th president, Donald J. Trump, is anointed president of the United States again, so we can make America great again, and so we can also make America healthy again. I tell you what, I'm as excited about that as I am anything, as I think we all get a little bit more health conscious as we get older. So I'm really excited about what RFK Jr. is going to do to make America healthy again. But first, we got to make America great again by getting Donald Trump elected and getting the Democrat death culture and the woke mind virus rinsed and detoxed out of the system that is America. And that starts when you go into that voting booth November 5th or early for absentee, if you can get by there Saturday by noon, early voting or absentee voting as it's called ends. Get in there, rub your hands together, grab that red lever, pull that sun gun down, and vote for Trump. Now, I know it's not really a lever. You actually just take this little pen, and I'm not on camera anymore, but you take this little pen and you just draw through it. Fill in the box. Vote as your heart says. I don't care what you do, down ticket, but top ticket, vote Trump. And the rest will fall into place. There's a couple good judges on there, too. I like Branning. I like McCrory. And everything else, I don't really care about what you do. But that's my picks. Guys, Chip Matthews up next. Really fun show today to get the week kicked off. Going to be a bunch. I am waiting for the indictments to drop on Chalkway. Stay tuned.